All right, welcome back. Welcome back. I don't know. I'm sorry if I was a little too fired up in the first segment, but it's not going to stop there. As you know, you're watching Liquid Lunch on Biz TV. Hello to all our audience out there on Facebook and other social media. Thank you as always. If you can, think about it. If you know what's going on right here in Staten Island, we need to get the message out that businesses have to open again. So share the stream, spread the word. Be good peoples, and we appreciate it. Good peoples, as always, join me right now. Frank Morano, my co-host, my managing editor, and my sensei, shall I say.
Hello there, John.
And Fernando Uribe in the Garden State of New Jersey. And hey, Fernando, how are you?
I'm doing great, brother. I hope everyone had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, it was wonderful for me. The kids came over. My brothers came over with their kids. There was some social distancing, really, really smart but fun. And it was actually great that the weather cooperated and everything else. Frankie with us?
Yeah, I'm here, John. I've been here the whole time.
Okay, no, I didn't see. Hey, there you are, pal. Okay, good. So, Fernando, first and foremost, I don't know if you heard about this news from Staten Island that a small business owner is going to open. It seems like that happened in Jersey with the gym owner. Everybody was behind him. Now, 2 weeks later, he's actually closed down. They changed his locks. They flooded his gym. What's happening? What are we to expect here?
Well, first of all, here in New Jersey, down in South Jersey specifically, where the Attilas gym has been in the news cycle for a good 4 days now, a lot of New Jerseyans have gravitated to Ian Smith, who's the owner of the gym, coincidentally, as it pertains to what's going on with this lockdown. And I know that many New Jerseyans want to get back to a sense of normalcy. I think what Mr. Smith has been trying to do is just simply advocate for responsible social distancing during this pandemic. And more importantly, people want to get back to the gym. People want to, get out and be healthy. I understand that home workouts can only do so much. And again, Governor Murphy, much to the dislike of thousands of New Jerseyans, is continuing with his draconian measures of locking the state down. He took even to the extent of what he did with this specific gym. And whether he was featured on Tucker Carlson on Fox News or other affiliates, quite frankly, I think what's going on here is overkill by the governor, John. I understand we want to sort of flatten this curve, but we're seeing cases going down in frequency in New Jersey. And I think all this guy wants to do is encourage New Jerseyans to be healthy. And now the governor is being very punitive with locking down the facility, turning off the water, turning off the power. And quite frankly, I know that he's suing the state of New Jersey, and that's still pending in court right now.
Got it. Wow.
Yeah, Fernando, let me also ask you about an issue John spent a great deal of time on discussing on Friday, which is the Joe Biden comments on the Charlemagne Breakfast Club morning show, in which he said towards the end of the interview, if you're on the fence if you don't know whether you're voting for Trump or Biden, then you ain't black. Now, he subsequently apologized for that. I'm wondering, what do you think of the politics, the comments themselves, and then what do you think of the political ramifications, if any, of these comments?
Well, first off, let's just look at the context of what that quote sort of, revolves around. And the translation I took from it is Joe Biden basically took this opportunity to tell a black audience that you're not smart enough to know what's good for you as it pertains to voting, especially this November. And I thought it was very insulting. And I've seen a lot of feedback on the news feeds, on Twitter, where a lot of black Americans, even someone who you never think is somewhat center-right, like Puff Daddy or Diddy, excuse me. I know he changes his name every so often. Even he took to Twitter and called out the former vice president and said that hashtag the black vote ain't free. And I think I think that summarizes everything that's wrong with the Democratic Party. I think for 40 to almost 50 years now, they seem to have cornered the market on trying to, cater to the black vote and try to give a lot of promises during campaign seasons. Let's be very honest. If you're being intellectually consistent here on this program, which I know you all are, and our audiences as well, the return on investment for the black community, for all of their dedication and their allegiance to the Democratic Party, has not been very good. And there's no way around it. That's not me being partisan. That's being factual. Look at just the way that cities are run in this country, guys. And let's be honest, democratically controlled legislatures, city councils have ruined these cities, inner cities, where poor people, poor black, white, Latinos collectively have been suffering because of liberal policies. And for whatever reason, I think more and more African Americans are waking up to this. We're seeing black voices for Trump, a nonprofit surfacing in the country that's becoming very, very vocal. We're seeing more and more Black conservatives taking to the airwaves, calling out the former vice president, saying, you don't own the Black vote. You have to show us what you're going to do for us instead of just lip service, because it's nothing but lip service for almost half a century.
No, it's really, to me, I think, I'm not the biggest fan of the Breakfast Club, but I like the way how smartly they interview people all the time. And it gives me a really good perspective on understanding how smart different types of people see through things. And I was really like, wow, this guy Charlemagne is good, because nobody follows up with Joe Biden. He hit him again. And it's like, he basically said, if you're Black and you don't vote for me, you're stupid. Or, shut up and vote. If you're Black, shut up and vote, basically. That's what I heard him say in regular layman's terms.
Well, John, and again, this only perpetuates the narrative that the Democratic Party is fixated on identity politics. Everything about race, everything about gender has to be weaponized during any campaign season. I mean, think about the last debate on CNN between Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, when the moderators cornered him and said, will you be selecting a woman, and more specifically a woman of color, as your running mate? And he pretty much got boxed into a corner and said yes. So now, I mean, listen, let's be honest. I mean, it's a lot of slim pickings here in the Democratic Party if he's going to just stick to that vow of picking a woman of color. Who's going to pick from? Stacey Abrams, Kamala Harris? I'm sorry, they're not impressive candidates to run with him on a ticket. And again, it perpetuates the narrative that identity politics is all the Democrats can run on. And people are seeing through that, John. I'm telling you, the Black approval rating for the president remained very strong even prior to the pandemic. And you'll be surprised as the year goes on, more and more Black voices are going to take to news feeds, to social media, saying, you know what? Democrats don't own the Black vote. And whether it's Diddy or other prominent Blacks in the African-American community are going to really take Joe Biden to task when it comes to policy.
Thank God. It's good. It's good. You know what I mean? That's what politics is about. It happens on both sides.
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
all purpled out today. You know my views. You know what I mean? I'm red and blue. I'm a libertarian. I'm an independent. People just fail to even realize that I think there's 30% Democrats, 25% Republicans. The largest majority are those of us in the middle that are some red and some blue. You know my spiel on purple people. That's really who determines the election. And independents are usually not even able to poll them properly in most of these polls. So they go off of the standard numbers, Republicans and Democrats.
No, absolutely. And I would argue that independents will continue to decide these elections, especially in the swing states in Ohio, Florida, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. These are the voters that, quite frankly, don't, as you said, don't poll very well when it comes to a lot of these numbers and data that you see being put forth by these news networks. And I think that listen, John, again, as we get back to normal, hopefully later this summer and going into the fall, we're going to be seeing, A, this economy picking up, B, we're going to be seeing more and more engagement on social media about this election, and C, I think at some point, Joe Biden's policies have to be put under the microscope. What is he promising other than I'm not Trump? Well, guess what? That's not going to be enough for millions of Americans coming up this November.
Fernando, what do you think, though, the political ramifications will be of this? Because so far, while Biden's apologized and a lot of people in both parties have criticized his comments, I haven't heard one Black voter say, I was going to vote for Biden, but now I'm going to vote for Trump or stay home. Will this have any impact whatsoever on what becomes of the Black vote?
It's hard to say right now, again, because polling's so inconsistent. But if you're just going by the news feed and social media specifically, I mean, yes, a lot of prominent Black activists, whether they're celebrities, musicians, have taken to social media to voice their disapproval about Joe Biden's comments. And listen, I understand that we can all have verbal gaffes. I get it. But this isn't the first time that Joe Biden's doing something like this. Or the fact that if you remember back in 2012, during that election season between Mitt Romney and Barack Obama, he went out publicly. It's on YouTube where he said, if you vote for Mitt Romney, he's going to put you all back in chains.
Yeah, shackles. He said he hit him with the shackles. I don't know. You probably saw Joe yesterday walking up, first time seen in months. He's like, he's just like weeks ahead of Ruth Bader Ginsburg on sightings, But all he needed was the big round hat. He looked like Zorro. He had all the black on black with the black face mask. No wonder why Trump doesn't want to wear the face mask either. It makes him look very sinister. And Joe chose black.
No, it does. And if I could just add this too, I think, again, I don't want to sort of engage in hyperbole, but quite frankly, gentlemen, this election coming up in November is truly one of the more important ones in our lifetime, because as we see Joe Biden's deterioration right now, mentally and cognitively, there's no definite chance he would finish his term. And whoever he picks as running mate.
All right, we got to leave it there, Fernando. Sorry, we got a hard break right here. That's Fernando Uribe. He's a faculty member at Bergen Community College. He's also the host of Politically Direct on Insider NJ. And we'll take a quick break back after this.